welcome to Daily Dictation. This video is for high intermediate English speakers. The topic that we are talking about today is marine life. This video is going to help you practice your English skills. More specifically, it's going to help you focus on improving your listening and your writing skills. I'm going to read 5 sentences 3 times each and once more at the end. And what you will do is you will listen to the sentences and try to write them down as accurately as possible. This means that you are going to try to make sure that you use the correct grammar, spelling, punctuation, and capitalization, all according to your knowledge in English. So it's going to be kind of challenging. Try your best. Let's go ahead and get started. So daily dictation happens from Monday to Friday. There are new sentences each weekday, new topics each week, 2 English levels offered, vocabulary lists are available, and there's practice worksheets available as well. And let's talk a little bit about how we do dictation. So the instructions, you will need a blank piece of paper and a pencil. If you have a blank document, that will work as well. You can use that. And I will read 5 sentences. As you hear each sentence, you are going to write them down and you are going to try your best to use your listening skills to write everything down exactly as I say it with proper spelling, grammar, punctuation, and capitalization. Right? So you are going to see numbers 1 through 5 on the screen here. Each number represents a different sentence that I will read, so write these down in a document. You can type them out or on your piece of paper. We're going to start with number 1. Number 1. The rich biodiversity supports countless species that rely on seagrass for their survival. The rich biodiversity supports countless species that rely on seagrass for their survival. The rich biodiversity supports countless species that rely on seagrass for their survival. Number 2. As we went through the estuary, we looked at the mangrove trees, which had roots that provided a natural filtration system. As we went through the estuary, we looked at the mangrove trees, which had roots that provided a natural filtration system. As we went through the estuary, we looked at the mangrove trees, which had roots that provided a natural filtration system. Number 3. Hidden within the rocky alcove, we discovered algae that stuck on the wall. Hidden within the rocky alcove, we discovered algae that stuck on the wall. Hidden within the rocky alcove, we discovered algae that stuck on the wall. Number 4. The swell of the ocean brought a variety of algae that settled in the shallow waters. The swell of the ocean brought a variety of algae that settled in the shallow waters. The swell of the ocean brought a variety of algae that settled in the shallow waters. Number 5. Exploring the estuary, we noted how the filtration effect of the mangrove roots. Number 5. Exploring the estuary, we noted the filtration effect of the mangrove roots. Exploring the estuary, we noted the filtration effect of the mangrove roots. Exploring the estuary, we noted the filtration effect of the mangrove roots. I'm going to read each sentence one more time, starting with number 1. The rich biodiversity supports countless species that rely on seagrass for their survival. Number 2. As we went through the estuary, we looked at the mangrove trees, which had roots that provided a natural filtration system. Number 3. Hidden within the rocky alcove, we discovered algae that stuck on the wall. Number 4. The swell of the ocean brought a variety of algae that settled in the shallow waters. Number 5. Exploring the estuary, we noted the filtration effect of the mangrove roots. All right, so I'm sure everybody did really well. Let's get ready to check our answers. If you found this video a little bit fast or the words a little bit challenging and you need to listen again, I recommend that you listen again. When you listen again, if you need it to be slower, you can adjust the playback speed in the settings of the video and make it go slower. If you need to listen to a specific sentence again, check the description for timestamps, and then you can click the time of the sentence you want to hear again, and it will bring you right back to it. You can listen as many times as you need. If you feel like you did good and you want to check, let's go ahead and check. So check your answers. Number 1. The rich biodiversity supports countless species that rely on seagrass for their survival. Number 2. As we went through the estuary, we looked at the mangrove trees, which had roots that provided a natural filtration system. 3. Hidden within the rocky alcove, we discovered algae that stuck on the wall. Number 4. The swell of the ocean brought a variety of algae that settled in the shallow waters. 5. Exploring the estuary, we noted the filtration effect of the mangrove roots. All right, so how did we do? There were some tricky words in these sentences. So one of the things to remember for these longer words, biodiversity, seagrass, estuary, mangrove, filtration, etc., some of these words are tricky just because they are long. So if it helps to split them up into smaller bits, then that works. Oftentimes people like to split them up according to the syllable sound, how you say it. So for example, if you look at filtration, you can split it up in fil-tray-shun. So first F-I-L, then T-R-A, then T-I-O-N. So 3 different parts, and memorize the letter order for your spelling. Sometimes for something like biodiversity, we can split it up because bio is one thing and diversity has a different meaning. Same thing with mangrove. Man means one thing, grove has a different meaning, so you can put these 2 words together. Like here, and it makes one big word. So you can split it up like that as well, and this will really help with your spelling. We will also continue to practice putting our commas in according to the different clauses that we see in our sentences. Again, a good sign of us starting a new clause is when we have a subject. We noted, subject, verb. We discovered, subject, verb. We looked, subject, verb. And in all of these cases, in the middle of the sentence, we have subject, verb, and then the rest of the sentence. That's a pretty good sign that we're starting a new clause, and it's actually independent clause. in all these cases. And so that is another good way to think about your punctuation. Algae might have been different. Different regions and different English-speaking countries will pronounce this word a little bit differently. So the way I pronounced it might not be true for every single English-speaking country. I live in North America. I'm in Canada, so we say algae. However, you might hear the G make more of a G sound in some areas. Algae is what is said in some areas. So it depends on where you are for the pronunciation. So the words that were tricky probably do require you to review a little bit more. So here are the vocabulary words that you can review. You have algae, estuary, seagrass, mangrove, swell, alcove, filtration, biodiversity. If you don't know the meanings of these words or how to use them, you can check the link in the description and it will bring you to a vocabulary list with definitions, and it will have all sorts of activities for you to test your understanding of the words, reading comprehension, and you can even have a prompt to write your own essay with these words. Additionally, have a look at different word forms and become familiar with them. These words are really good if you're studying IELTS or going to take some kind of speaking or proficiency test, because there are questions that ask you about your hobbies. There's questions that might talk about climate change. In the reading, it might talk about climate change or biodiversity or some of these harder tasks, especially for the academic tests if you're studying for that. So it is good to kind of know some of these vocabulary words, so when you write it or when you complete it, you have a good handle on it and can apply that knowledge well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.